What's good, everybody? So, we all heard the phrase, it'll get worse before it gets better. And what we're starting to see is that things are starting to go from bad to worse. There are so many companies that have been doing massive layoffs. I mean, massive. And thousands and thousands of thousands and thousands of people are getting laid off because these companies are cutting back. And one of those companies is PepsiCo. Now, according to CNBC and the Wall Street, it says Pepsi plans to cut hundreds of corporate jobs. Pepsi is eliminating hundreds of corporate jobs in North America. The layoffs will affect employees of its food and beverage businesses in Chicago, Plano, Texas, and Purchase, New York. The journal reported citing people familiar with the matter and a company memo. Pepsi's portfolio includes Gatorade, Frito-Lay, and Quaker Foods. The company's beverage unit is expected to be hit harder it's expected to be hit harder by the cuts because the snacks unit already shrank its workforce through a voluntary retirement program. Pepsi employed 309,000 people worldwide as of December 25th, with more than 40% of those jobs located in the U.S., according to a company regulated filing. In October, Pepsi hiked its full-year revenue forecast after higher prices boosted its sales. However, some of its businesses units, including Frito-Lay North America, reported shrinking volume, a sign that consumers were cutting back their snacks to better manage their budgets. In recent months, companies in the tech and media sectors have been laying off workers to trim costs as economic uncertainty pressures their businesses. Several food and beverage companies have also cut jobs, including Beyond Meat, Impossible Foods, and Pepsi's main rival, Coca-Cola. In November, Coke said it will restructure its North American business through a voluntary separation program that includes buyouts. So, what's going on here is that, like I said, everybody, a lot of these companies are getting hit hard by this economy and they're cutting jobs. Thousands and hundreds and thousands of people losing their jobs. And part of this is because the inflation. And with everything that's been going on with inflation because of the price hikes, people now are budgeting their money. So they're starting to get more of their needs instead of their wants. So in other words, yeah, I want to buy these potato chips, but I need to buy these chicken breasts, you know, you know. So they're focusing more on the stuff that they need. I may want to get those chips, but then when they look at the price of the chips and say, that's a little bit too much for me. No, I'm good. I may want to buy this Coke, but seeing how much it costs, yeah, I'm gonna trade that Coke and I'm gonna get this case of water instead because it's a little bit cheaper. So I'm not gonna sit up and pay this amount of money for a case of Pepsi or a case of Coke when I can get a case of water that's more cheaper. You know, and some people may say, yeah, but you got the water tax. Yeah, we got the water tax. But if you look at how much a case of Coke costs compared to how much some water costs, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then the next thing is that too, people are starting to eat healthy. People are starting to go more into healthier choices because they're stepping away from soda, they're stepping away from chips and all those things, and they're going more so to like almonds, walnuts, uh, chicken, fish, oatmeal, all these sort of things. And that's another reason too why some of these companies are losing money, because people are making more healthier choices. So now the companies are like, man, you know, we got these two things that we dealing with, which means our sales are going low. So what are we going to do? We got to cut back on these jobs. We got to let some people go. And when from usually, I could be wrong, but from usually what I've seen when they start to do these layoffs, they hit the everyday worker, they hit them. But also too, they look at some of these people in these corporate companies that's making nice money. So the people that's making hundreds and thousands to maybe millions of dollars in salary, they start to cut back on them too. So if Bob is making 350,000 and Terry is making 650,000 to maybe million or whatever, they're gonna let Bob and so when they look at Bob and Terry, Terry's making more than Bob, so they're gonna tell Terry, yeah, we gotta let you go. You know, they may or may not get to Bob, but they're gonna look at the people that's making the higher salaries and say, okay, let's start to get rid of some of these guys before we work our way down to the regular everyday workers. But then what happens too when they do these cuts is that the everyday person that come to works every day, their workload increases because now since they cut so many people in so many departments and they let workers go, now your job duties increase. The supervisor who was just sitting there just probably telling y'all what to do, their job duties increase. You know, a person that's making 150,000 or 250,000, their job responsibility is going to increase. So now, because of these cutbacks, a lot of folks' job responsibility is going to increase. It's going to require you to do more and more and more and more and more and more and more, which is going to piss people off because it's like, damn, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that, which then some people start to branch off or start to look for other jobs where they don't have to carry so much weight on their shoulders. So when they start to do these cutbacks and these layoffs, that's what starts to happen. Because on one end, you cutting back because the company wants to save money and figuring like, okay, we want to keep certain workers here. But then at the same time, the people that you're going to keep there, when their workload increases, they're going to be pissed off and stressed out, and they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to leave. And then now, while the companies is doing cutbacks and layoffs, and then these people leave, you got to find somebody to replace that worker who just quit. So it's, how can I say it? It's no winners or losers when it comes to this. The company might say, yeah, we're winning because we're saving money, but at the same time, you're not really winning, you're losing because then you're letting good workers go. And then your other good workers, they're pissed off because of, like I said, their workload increases. So it's going to be interesting to see how a lot of these companies, even including Pepsi, what they're going to do moving forward and how they're going to be able to handle this. But like I said in the beginning of this video, it always gets worse before it gets better. And right now, I feel that we're going through bad times. And then with the people talking about with financiers and financial people saying that it's a recession about to come, things are going to get worse. So we just have to prepare ourselves. And it's an unfortunate situation that so many people have to had to lose their jobs, and some people are still losing their jobs. But we just have to prepare ourselves for what's about to happen. And you know, and hopefully sometime soon we will see some light at the end of the tunnel from all this stuff that we've been going through that's just been affecting us personally, affecting our health and affecting the economy. It's pretty fucked up right now, you know, and just like I said, just moving forward. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on what's going on and how is this gonna pan out with these companies. And one more thing I want to say too is that when I was telling you guys about, how people have been making healthier choices, it's funny because even the healthy companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible Meat, where they just cater towards vegan dishes, they've been getting hit hard too. So everybody's been getting hit hard by this. Everybody, you know. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on this. You let me know how you feel about this. And until then, I'll let your boy.